Welcome to the final regular season review and predictions video. I'll be doing a review of week 17 next week and then doing the prediction for the wild card round of the playoffs, and I'll be doing prediction for each of the rounds of the playoffs going up to the Super Bowl as well. For those asking or thinking that I'm just going to stop now that the Eagles don't have games anymore, I run these up until the Super Bowl. Anyway, let's go over the week 16 review. Or shall I say, the week that just completely ripped the rug out of a few teams that had just such a cake path to get into the playoffs. Anyway, let's get into it. Started off the week with two teams that had no shot in hell in making the playoffs. In fact, this was probably one of the worst games scheduled in NFL history. The Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars won. Who cares? But then again, my team is on the same couch at home watching the playoffs as Tennessee and Jacksonville. Anyway, speaking of my team, start off Saturday football. Philadelphia Eagles lost to the mighty 3-win Washington Redskins. What a triumphant loss that was for the Eagles. Bye-bye playoffs, and the light stays on until after the Giants game. Anyway, San Diego comes roaring back and just absolutely punches the San Francisco 49ers in the fucking face. Phillip Rivers leads his team back. He was roughed up pretty good in this game. Looks like he was playing hurt, but man, 38-35 win in overtime in a game that San Francisco was clearly running away with. It is fucking axe time in San Francisco. It is time to cut off heads. This team, I don't know what the fuck happened to make them lose games to this level, to just be they're competitive, but just to be irrelevant in the playoff picture. Like, it's like they're not even going to finish close to the playoffs this year. Like, what the fuck happened, man? What the fuck happened? I don't care about their team. Anyway. Minnesota loses to the Miami Dolphins 37-35. Miami's winning again, too little, too late for that franchise. Oh, the Cleveland Brownies. Johnny Manziel gets hurt. Oh, there, take a shot. The phone interrupted. Johnny Manziel gets hurt. Welcome to the NFL, cupcake. Carolina wins 17-13. Not really much to take from that game, other than Manziel realizing that he can't play with the big boys. Detroit beating Chicago and heading into the playoffs, as I tweeted out. Heading into the playoffs with a mighty yawn. The Detroit Lions, they seem to just be on another thing I tweeted out, they're just on like cruise control right now. They made the playoffs via the Eagles losing on Saturday, so it's like, they really don't have that much to play for. They have a slight slim chance of stealing the lead, the NFC North, but with Green Bay winning, it ended up being irrelevant. Anyway, Baltimore. This, as I said, was a week where the rug got pulled out from a number of teams. Baltimore, you can't lose that game. You can't. Anyways, you did, and you looked abysmal. 25-13, 13 points of offense against a somewhat decent Houston defense. Anyway, the Atlanta Falcons more than doubling up the New Orleans Saints. Another fucking loss for the Saints at home this year. Speaking of what happened to San Francisco, what the fuck happened to the Saints? They had one of the best home team advantages in the league, and now they have a home team disadvantage. Why the fuck can't they play good at home this year? It makes no sense. That's one thing they've never struggled with. Even on off years, they still won at home. Another fucking home loss, and 30-14 Atlanta Falcons. It looks like they're heading into the playoffs. I mean, not that saying much coming out of that division. What the fuck happened here? The New York Jets losing by a point to the New England Patriots. Oh my god. When I saw this score, I was like, holy shit. The Jets might fucking do this. The Jets may kick their fans in the fucking nuts and beat the Patriots. I was going to giggle my ass off, but then the Patriots end up winning. Anyway. Kansas City at Pittsburgh. I thought this was going to be a little bit better game. I mean, it was a decent game. Anyways, Pittsburgh ends up winning, and Pittsburgh is back in the playoffs. They've locked up a playoff spot. And to just admit when I was just flat out wrong, during my preseason prediction videos, I honestly saw Pittsburgh as a washed-up has-been team. But you know what? It's just still a group of guys that know how to win. Ben Roethlisberger still knows how to win. There's still key pieces on that team that know how to win. Great coach, great players on both sides of the ball, and they're in the playoffs because they deserve to be there. Anyways, I really underestimated this team this year. You know, I can admit that I blew that prediction. Green Bay at Tampa Bay, 20-3. Not really anything to say other than that score. That's, you know, it is what it is. The New York Giants, oh boy, they're coming in with a cold hand to the Philadelphia Eagles this week. 37-27 over a St. Louis Rams team that has been somewhat consistently been putting up a lot of points. Spare that Arizona game 2 weeks ago. And in keeping teams from scoring a lot of points, giving up 37 points to the Giants, I just, fucking hell. Fucking hell. I do not feel good about next week's game, but it's a game for nothing, so I don't care either way. Indianapolis, boy, they really helped out the Eagles. They really showed up to give the Eagles a chance to get a playoff spot. 42-7, you fuckers lost. Anyways, I don't care. It's almost as if I was just like going into the game. I was like, you know what? Let's be real. Indianapolis is gonna lose. They're going to lose. T.Y. Hilton was announced right before the game. He wouldn't even be playing. I was like, oh, they're not gonna try. They're gonna lose. To see Hasselbeck come in, I was like, wow, Hasselbeck is still in the fucking league, and he's the backup in Indianapolis. What the fuck? Learn something new every day. Jesus, he's like 55 years old. Oh, and speaking of having the rug pulled out from under you, and one of the Bills fans was talking to me, saying, like, you know, it's miserable how your Eagles finished the season, but at least you aren't the fucking Buffalo Bills. Because the Buffalo Bills lost to the Oakland Raiders 26-24. The fucking hapless, hopeless Oakland fucking Raiders. Now let me see, what did Buffalo do recently? They beat the Packers last week and then go on to just wipe out their playoff hopes by losing to the Oakland fucking Raiders. That's fucking awful. I was talking to, again, this Bills fan that was saying how, you know, at least you're not a fan of the Bills. And then I was talking to a Cleveland Browns fan where I was like, geez, this is such a fucking terrible year for three of the most hopeless franchises in all the NFL. The Browns, the Bills, and the Eagles. Three teams that have never won fuck all in this league, spare getting to a Super Bowl at the best. And all three of those teams just tease all their fans going into the final weeks. The Browns were alive with a playoff spot, a feasible playoff chance, until Indianapolis came into Cleveland and Andrew Luck had the worst game of his fucking career. And Indianapolis still ends up winning the game on a final minute scoring drive. The Bills have a shot at getting to the playoffs, lose to the fucking shitbag Raiders, and then the Eagles have a playoff chance and lose to the crumb bum Washington Redskins. Jesus Christ, man. What the fuck? Alright. Sunday Night Football went nowhere near what I thought it was going to go. Look, you're down to your third string quarterback in Arizona, so it's an understanding that you didn't put up a lot of points. But I'll tell you what, Ryan Lindley wasn't the main reason why they lost that game. That Arizona defense did not come to play. They laid down and fucking died. That Lynch touchdown, just the constant first downs all game that Seattle was getting, that Arizona defense laid down and fucking died in that second half, that third quarter into the fourth quarter. Like, I'm sorry, you did not impress anyone that thinks that they're going to be fearful of this Arizona Cardinals team. Because your defense, it doesn't matter how the quarterback looked in this game. Because that Arizona defense was the main reason why they lost that game. And I was not expecting Seattle, a team that on a good day will give you like 24 points, put up, what is this, 35 points? Wow. Wow, that Arizona defense lost a ton of fucking respect in this game. Anyway, talk about going soft into the playoffs, but now they're starting their fourth string quarterback this week, the rookie that I forget the name of, but anyway, who the fuck knows the name of a fourth string quarterback on a team anyway? So Arizona, it is just very bleak for your future, but at least you're in the fucking dance. Anyway, Denver at Cincinnati. Is this right? Cincinnati won a game of primetime football? And on top of that, I hate to break it to you, Denver, Peyton Manning, you're done. You're done. You might win a playoff game or two at most, but that guy that took to the field, it's over. That party is over. I'm sorry, you're just gonna end up being retired as the greatest regular season quarterback ever, but man, throwing up 4 fucking interceptions, it's over, Peyton. Nice run while it lasted. Let's just go into week 17 predictions. I guess I'll break down the Eagles-Giants game a little later this week. I don't know why. The game means nothing. Giants are already favored by 3 points at home. Cleveland at Baltimore. Cleveland is going to just lose another game because it's a miserable town that has no taste of winning, just like Philadelphia. So look for Cleveland to lay down and die, lose to Baltimore, their division foe. Jacksonville at Houston. Look for Houston, and Houston has an outside playoff chance if I remember correctly. So that's a pretty nice path you have there. But will Jacksonville be the spoiler? San Diego at Kansas City. Kansas City playing for nothing. San Diego playing for an outside playoff shot, I do believe. Yeah. Anyways, look for Kansas City to win. Look for the Kansas City to win. New York Jets at Miami. Jets, win, win, win! Win, win, win! Look for the Jets to win. Why not? Chicago at Minnesota in the who gives a fuck North matchup, the NFC North matchup of the week. God damn. Teddy Bridgewater will have the game of the year for Minnesota. Look for Minnesota to win. Buffalo at New England, because the game means absolutely nothing to either team. Look for Buffalo to win. Just for the fuck of it. New Orleans at Tampa Bay. Well, the game's on the road and Tampa sucks, so look for New Orleans to win. Indianapolis playing the worst team in football, the Tennessee Titans. By the way, to the few Titans fans that just kept getting up my ass for saying the Tennessee Titans are the worst team in football, is there any doubt in that now? Exactly. I was saying that back in week 3, that this was the worst team in football. There's no fucking doubting that now. Just want to point that out. Oh, God. Even if Indianapolis plays all their bench, I can't see them losing to this Titans team. Look for Indianapolis to win. Dallas at Washington. This is always a game that you never know how to predict it. Oh, it's always been that way. That has been the rivalry between those two teams. And Washington, it doesn't matter how good they are, how bad they are, they always somehow end up being a thorn in the side of the Dallas Cowboys. And it's in Washington, and I think not that there's much of a home field advantage for any team that's not in it right now. I still see Dallas winning this game because Dallas is just playing good football. It pains me to fucking see that and know that, but Dallas is just playing some determined football right now. That's the thing. They're playing determined football. They're over-excelling at damn near every position of play right now. I fucking want to vomit. Anyways, look for Dallas to win. Carolina at Atlanta. If Atlanta wants to take any sort of positive momentum of kicking the shit out of New Orleans take that into the playoffs, do it against Carolina at home. Prove, and that's the thing, like, at least have an NFC South team that looks like it's like, oh wow, at least they're getting hot now. Like, it's abysmal that one of these teams is going to make the playoffs. Atlanta, just at least go in looking strong. Beat the piss out of the Carolina Panthers, too. Sorry, you camel toes. Your team's going to lose. Look for Atlanta to win. Detroit at Green Bay. Potential, but I see this being a rematch in the playoffs, too. It just depends if Detroit wants to go into cruise control mode and then say, like, okay, we'll play our real game if we face Green Bay, end up having to face Green Bay in the playoffs. How Detroit looked last week, it didn't really impress me all that much, and Green Bay didn't exactly impress me either, having a 20 spot put up on the Bucks. I think both of these teams are going to kind of be in cruise control. Green Bay is going to win just because they're Green Bay and it's in Green Bay. Oakland's at the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos favored by 14 points. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to pick Oakland in this game. It's the end of the year. Let's get crazy. Let's get nuts. Arizona at San Francisco. I just... How can you expect a fourth string quarterback and a defense that looked as bad as it did last week to win on the road? Jeez. I think San Francisco is going to kick the shit out of the Cardinals. But it's just a shame. The Cardinals have had so many injuries. Now, granted, every team has injuries, but the fact that they're down to their fourth string quarterback and the defense, all of a sudden, the one thing that Arizona could lean on that looks like it's falling apart is that fucking defense. Looks like a fucking paper dragon right now. Jesus Christ. And St. Louis at Seattle. Arizona looked to lose in San Francisco. Seattle looked to win, and looky here. Seattle all of a sudden is going to go in as the number 1 seed as long as they finish up business and avenge that loss that St. Louis gave to them earlier this year. Look for Seattle to win at home. And our final game of the season, the battle for supremacy in the AFC North, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. I think this is an excellent game to end the season on. Great division matchup. And Baltimore. The Bengals have proven that they can win in prime time with that performance they put up on Monday night last week. I think it's going to be a coin flip type of game. Pittsburgh is back into their winning form. That's a team you just can't bet against when they're in that mode, but Cincinnati, they look like they found their way as well. They've got a lot of their pieces back, and the Bengals. So there you have it, the final week review, week prediction video for regular season football, and I'll be back next Wednesday, with my review of week 17 and my my prediction for the wild card playoff rounds. As a fan of football, I'm still looking forward to these games, even though my team is not in it. First and foremost, I'm a fan of the Eagles, but in a close second, I'm just a fan of fucking football and good competition. I think it's the best form of competition in American sports right now. Anyway, not to get too sappy, but yeah. Still excited for the games. Fuck the Dallas Cowboys. And once again, Merry Christmas to all you motherfuckers out there that don't care that I say Merry Christmas to you. And as I said in my last video, Happy Holidays to all you sensitive fucks. Have a good day, everyone. And a happy, healthy New Year. I guess I throw that in that you're supposed to, right? Anyway, take care, guys.